Saygıdeğer konuklarımız, tekrar hoş geldiniz. Şimdi çok kıymetli bir uluslararası işbirliği panelimize geçiyoruz. Altyapı projelerinde Türkiye-Kore Stratejik İşbirliği panelimiz olacak. Panelin açılış konuşmalarını yapmak üzere de Türkiye Müteahhitler Birliği Başkanı Erdal Eren'i sahneye davet ediyorum. Buyurun efendim.
Mr. Jung, Economic Counselor of the Republic of the Korea, esteemed speakers of the Korean delegation, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great pleasure and privilege to welcome you all to Construction Summit Turkey 2026. Today, we are particularly honored to host the Republic of Korea as one of our most valued international partners. On behalf of the Turkish Contractors Association, I am delighted to open this special session on the Turkey-Kore Strategic Partnership of Future Infrastructure. The long-standing friendship between Turkey and the Republic of Korea is built upon a unique historical foundation, mutual trust, and shared values. The construction sector has undoubtedly been one of the most successful and visible areas of cooperation between our two countries. Turkish and Korean contractors have worked side by side on some of the most challenging and prestigious infrastructure projects, combining their expertise, technical capabilities, and innovative approaches to deliver world-class results. Projects such as the Eurasian Tunnel and the Çanakkale Bridge, which we are proud of both, stand not only as remarkable engineering achievements, but also as enduring symbols of the strength of Turkey-Korea cooperation. They demonstrate what can be accomplished when our industries join forces with a common vision and shared commitment to excellence. As the Turkish Contractor Association, we attach great importance to further strengthening our collaboration with our Korean counterparts. We believe that Turkey and Korea are exceptionally well positioned to work together in addressing future infrastructure needs, developing innovative solutions, and pursuing new opportunities not only in our respective countries, but also and especially in third markets. We therefore look forward to expanding our cooperation, encouraging new business partnerships, and undertaking ambitious projects together in the years ahead. With these thoughts, it is now my great pleasure to invite Mr. Lim, Economic Council of the Republic of Korea, to address the audience. Thank you very much.
Sayın Erdal Eren'e çok teşekkür ediyoruz. Şimdi konuşmalarını yapmak üzere Kore Büyükelçiliği Ekonomi Müşaviri Jung-hwan Lim'i sahneye davet ediyoruz. Buyurun efendim.
Teşekkür ederim. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jung-hwan Lim, the head of economic section at the Korean Embassy. Before we start, I'd like to ask for your understanding. Unfortunately, our ambassador, His Excellency Sukjong couldn't be here with us today. Just yesterday, urgent matter came up for this afternoon. He's now had to meet with President Erdogan to present the letter of credence, and now meeting the private meeting with President Erdogan. So Ambassador deeply regret his absence, and therefore it's my distinct honor to read his congratulatory remarks on the behalf of the Korean ambassador. Good afternoon. I'm Sukjong, Ambassador of Republic of Korea. It is highly meaningful to hold a Korea-Turkey strategic partnership for future infrastructure session. This is a key part of the 2026 Construction Summit Turkey. I thank Mr. Erdar Eren, the president of the Turkey Contractors Association, and also thank Secretary General Sukjong and all the organizers. Korea and Turkey are close partners. We share long history of deep trust. The construction and infrastructure sector is a core pillar of our economic cooperation. Our companies have successfully completed major national projects together. The Çanakkale Bridge and the Eurasian Tunnel is the great examples. Today, global infrastructure market is facing a paradigm shift. We see strong move toward digital transformation and eco-friendly infrastructure. To respond to these changes, our infrastructure cooperation must also changes. Our future partnership must go beyond simple construction. It must evolve into a future-oriented structure. This structure should cover the entire project lifestyle. Today, we have key leaders here from Korea. The delegation from the Korean Ministry of Land, Infrastructure and Transport has traveled a long way to be with us. And we also have key players from the Export-Import Bank of Korea and the chairman of Korea Business Association and Samsung C&T. They will share important presentation today. I hope this special session expands networking with these core public and private leaders. I look forward to this leading to a real practical cooperation. I hope today's session provides a valuable opportunity. Let us concretize practical cooperation measures between our government and companies. Let us share future strategies for the construction industry. Thank you so much. And now, I want to introduce Mr. Kim Seong-hwan, the Director of Construction Industry of the Ministry of Land, Infrastructure and Transport of the Republic of Korea.
메르하바. 안녕하세요. 대한민국 국토교통부 건설산업과장 김성환입니다.
Merhaba.
Sorry.
Merhaba. Geliyor mu? Merhaba, ben Kore Cumhuriyeti Arazi, Altyapı ve Ulaştırma Bakanlığı İnşaat Sektörü Daire Başkanı Kim Seong-hwan.
먼저 이처럼 뜻깊은 자리를 마련해 주시고 대한민국을 파트너로 초대해 주신 튀르키예 건설협회 관계자 여러분께 감사의 말씀을 드립니다.
Öncelikle bu anlamlı organizasyonu düzenleyen ve Kore Cumhuriyeti'ni bir ortak olarak davet eden Türkiye Müteahhitler Birliği'nin tüm yetkililerine ve üyelerine teşekkürlerimi sunarım.
오늘 발표는 한국의 건설 역사와 해외 건설 정책을 설명하고 한국 튀르키예 인프라 협력 사례를 소개한 후에 마무리하겠습니다.
Bugünkü sunumda Kore'nin inşaat tarihini ve deniz aşırı inşaat politikalarını açıklayacak, ardından Kore-Türkiye altyapı işbirliği örneklerini sunarak konuşmamı sonlandıracağım.
가장 먼저 한국의 건설 역사에 대해서 설명드리겠습니다.
İlk olarak Kore'nin inşaat tarihinden bahsetmek isterim.
한국은 1950년대 전쟁으로 폐허가 된 상태에서 50년도 채 안 되어 OECD에 가입하고 현재는 글로벌 국가로 우뚝 서 있습니다.
Kore, savaşın ardından tamamen harbe dönmüş bir durumdayken çok kısa bir süre içinde büyüyerek bir OECD ülkesi konumuna gelmiştir. Bu başarı, güçlü altyapı ve yeni kent projelerinin sağladığı muazzam destek sayesinde mümkün olmuştur.
이 과정에서 많은 기술력과 경험이 축적되어 1965년 태국 파타니 나와티와트 고속도로 공사 수주를 시작으로 61년간 169개국에 진출하였으며 2024년도에는 누적 해외 건설 수주액 1조 달러를 달성하였습니다.
Bu süreçte ciddi bir teknoloji güç ve deneyim birikimi elde edilmiş. 1965 yılında Tayland Patani Narathiwat otoyolu projesinin üstlenilmesiyle başlayan süreçte 61 yıl içinde 169 ülkeye açılım sağlanmış ve 2024 yılında kümülatif deniz aşırı inşaat hacminde 1 trilyon dolara ulaşılmıştır.
리비아 대수로 공사, UAE 바라카 원전, 이라크 미스마야 신도시 등 주요 해외 건설 프로젝트를 통해 한국 기업들의 글로벌 역량을 지속적으로 입증해 왔습니다.
Libya Büyükapay Nehir Projesi, Birleşik Arap Emirlikleri Baraka Nükleer Güç Santrali, Irak Pismaya Yenişehir, Birleşik Arap Emirlikleri Buruj Khalifa gibi büyük ölçekli küresel projeler vasıtasıyla Koreli şirketlerin uluslararası yetkinliği sürekli olarak kanıtlanmıştır.
이러한 성과는 우수한 한국 기업들을 적극 지원하는 정부의 정책이 큰 역할을 하였습니다.
Bu başarılar aynı zamanda nitelikli Kore şirketleri büyüten hükümet politikalarının bir sonucudur.
대한민국 국토교통부에서는 기술 혁신, 인력 양성과 함께 공정한 거래 시장 구축 등 건설 산업 생태계 전반을 조성하고 개성하는 정책을 펼치고 있습니다.
Kore Arazi, Altyapı ve Ulaştırma Bakanlığı, teknolojik inovasyon, insan kaynaklarının yetiştirilmesi ve adil ticaret gibi inşaat sektörü ekosisteminin genelini canlandıracak politikalar yürütmektedir.
특히 5년 단위 중장기 법정 계획을 제시하고 세부 정책을 추진하고 있습니다.
Özellikle deniz aşırı inşaat alanında üst düzey diplomatik faaliyetlerini desteklemenin yanı sıra 5 yıllık orta ve uzun vadeli planlar sunma ve bunları hayata geçirme rolünü üstlenmektedir.
현재 한국 정부가 중점을 두고 있는 분야는 투자 개발형 사업입니다.
Şu anda Kore hükümetinin odaklandığı temel alan yatırım geliştirme projeleridir.
PPP 사업 지원을 위해 2018년 카인드라는 공공기관을 설립하였습니다. 카인드는 해외 투자 개발 사업을 발굴, 기획하고 지분 투자 등 금융 지원을 통해 한국 기업의 해외 진출을 지원하고 있습니다.
Kamu özel sektör işbirliği PPP projelerini desteklemek amacıyla 2018 yılında deniz aşırı yatırım projelerini tespit edip geliştiren, ayrıca hisse yatırım gibi finansal araçlarla Koreli şirketlerin küresel pazara açılmasını destekleyen bir kamu kuruluşu olan Kore Deniz Aşırı Altyapı ve Kentsel Gelişim Destek Kurumu kurulmuştur.
또한 구체적인 이행 수단으로 정부와 공공기관의 예산과 민간 자금이 모인 1,017억 달러 규모의 PPP 전용 정책 펀드를 조성하여 운영 중입니다.
Ayrıca somut bir uygulama aracı olarak devlet, kamu kurumları ve özel sektör sermayesinin bir araya geldiği toplam 2,6 trilyon won hacminde PPP özel politika fonu oluşturulmuş ve aktif olarak işletilmektedir.
이러한 정책 아래 해외 건설 사업자로 등록된 기업이 718개사로 폭넓게 해외 건설 산업에서 활동 중입니다.
Bu politikalar çerçevesinde deniz aşırı inşaat firması olarak tescil edilmiş 718 şirket bulunmakta olup geniş bir yelpazedeki firmalar deniz aşırı inşaat sektöründe faaliyet göstermektedir.
튀르키예와는 1999년 SK건설이 정유공사 복구공사에 최초 참여한 i후에 협력 사업이 활발하게 i루어지고 있습니다.
Türkiye ile ilişkilerimiz 1999 yılında SKİNC şirketinin rafineri tesisi onarım inşaatı hizmet projesine ilk kez katılım sağlanmasından bu yana ortak projelerle aktif bir şekilde gelişmeye devam etmektedir.
특히 작년 11월에는 양국 정상회담을 계기로 한국의 도로공사와 앞서 말씀드린 카인드 그리고 튀르키예 도로청 간 도로협력 MOU를 체결하는 등 고위급 아젠다로도 다뤄지고 있습니다.
Özellikle Kasım 2025'te gerçekleştirilen iki ülke liderler zirvesi vesilesiyle Kore Otoyolu Kurumu, KAIND, KGM arasında karayolu işbirliği mutabaka zaptı imzalanmış olup bu konu üst düzey gündem maddelerinden biri olarak ele alınmaktadır.
대표적인 협력 프로젝트로는 유레이시아 해저 터널, 보스포러스 제3대교, 차나칼레 대교가 있습니다.
Ve en sembolik işbirliği projeleri Avrasya Tüneli, Yavuz Sultan Selim Köprüsü ve Çanakkale Köprüsü'dür.
이 프로젝트들은 유럽과 아시아를 연결해 두 대륙 간 소요 시간을 획기적으로 단축시켰으며 세계 최장 현수교를 건설했다는 점에서 상징적인 의미가 있습니다.
Bu projeler Avrupa ile Asya'yı birbirine bağlayarak iki kıta arasındaki ulaşım süresini radikal bir şekilde kısaltılmış, aynı zamanda dünyanın en uzun asma köprüsünün inşası gibi sembolik bir anlam kazanmıştır.
또한 이 사업들은 튀르키예 건설사들이 함께 참여했다는 점에서 중요하며 더 나아가서 알마티 순환도로 사업과 같이 양국 건설사가 제3국에 공동 진출한 사례를 보았을 때 양국 간의 협력 가능성이 무궁무진하다고 할 수 있겠습니다.
Ayrıca bu projeler Türk müteahhitler firmalarında sürece birlikte katılım sağlanmış olması açısından büyük önem taşımaktadır. Dahası Almaty Çevre Yolu Projesi örneğinde olduğu gibi iki ülke müteahhitlerinin üçüncü bir ülkeye ortaklaşa açıldığı başarılar göz önünde alındığında ülkelerimiz arasında işbirliği potansiyelin sınırsız olduğu açıkça görülmektedir.
특히 양국 기업의 제3국 시장 공동 진출은 상당한 시너지 효과를 기대할 수 있는 분야입니다.
Özellikle iki ülke şirketlerinin üçüncü ülke pazarlarına ortaklaşa açılması çok ciddi bir sinerji etkisi yaratması beklenen bir alandır.
튀르키예의 광범위한 해외 네트워크와 사업 수행 능력, 그리고 한국의 투자개발형 사업기획 역량과 재원 조달 역량이 결합된다면 글로벌 시장에서 높은 경쟁력을 확보할 수 있을 것입니다.
Türkiye'nin sahip olduğu geniş uluslararası ağ ve proje uygulama kabiliyetiyle Kore'nin yatırım geliştirme odaklı proje planlama ve finansman sağlama yetkinliği birleştiği takdirde küresel pazarda çok yüksek bir rekabet gücü elde edileceğine inanıyorum.
여기에 한국수출입은행과 한국무역공사 등 공적 수출 신용기관의 금융 지원이 뒷받침된다면 대규모 자원이 소요되는 메가 프로젝트에서 한티 컨소시엄의 수주 경쟁력을 한층 더 높일 수 있을 것입니다.
Buna ek olarak Kore İhracat-İthalat Bankası ve Kore Ticaret Sigortası Kurumu gibi resmi ihracat destek kuruluşlarının finansal destekleri de arkamıza alındığında büyük sermaye gerektiren mega projelerde Kore-Türkiye konsorsiyumlarının ihale kazanma rekabetçiliği çok daha üst seviyelere taşınabilecektir.
최근 양국 간의 인프라 협력의 필요성과 중요성도 점차 확대되고 있습니다.
Son dönemde iki ülke arasındaki altyapı işbirliğinin gerekliliğinin ve önemi de giderek artmaktadır.
튀르키예가 보유한 유럽, 중동, 아프리카 지역의 네트워크 그리고 현지의 시공 능력과 한국의 기술력 및 스마트 인프라 운영 노하우는 상호 보완성이 높습니다.
Türkiye'nin sahip olduğu Avrupa, Orta Doğu ve Afrika bölgelerindeki güçlü ağ ile yerel müteahhitlik deneyimi, Kore'nin sahip olduğu teknolojik güç ve akıllı altyapı işletme bilgi birikimi ile son derece yüksek bir karşılıklı tamamlayıcılık ilişkine sahiptir.
최근 고속철도망, 재생에너지, 원전 등과 같은 고부가가치 인프라 수요가 급증하는 상황에서 양국 협력은 단순한 시공을 넘어 진전된 인프라 협력 model을 구축하는 계기가 될 것입니다.
Son dönemde yüksek hızlı demiryolu ağları, yenilebilir enerji ve nükleer güç santralleri gibi yüksek katma değerli altyapı taleplerinin arttığı bir konjonktürde iki ülke arasındaki işbirliği basit bir müteahhitlik ilişkisinin ötesine geçerek ileri düzeyde bir altyapı işbirliği modelinin oluşturulmasına zemin hazırlayacaktır.
한국 정부는 국제적 협력을 강화하기 위해 각 국가의 국부펀드와 국책은행과 공동펀드를 조성하는 방안을 검토 중입니다.
Kore hükümeti uluslararası işbirliğini teşvik etmek amacıyla her ülkenin varlık fonları, ulusal bankaları ve ortak fonları ile işbirliği mekanizmaları kurma seçenekleri değerlendirmektedir.
튀르키예와도 함께 할 수 있다면 보다 의미 있는 사업들을 발굴할 수 있을 것이라 생각합니다.
Türkiye ile de bu doğrultuda ortak adımlar atabildiğimiz takdirde çok daha anlamlı ve büyük projeleri birlikte ortaya çıkarabileceğimize inanıyorum.
금융 협력까지 구체화될 수 있도록 노력할 것이며 건설 분야의 상호 호혜적인 성과 창출을 위해 노력할 것입니다.
Finansal işbirliğinin de somutlaştırılması yönünde her türlü çabayı göstereceğimizi belirtir. İnşaat alanında karşılıklı fayda sağlayacak çıktıların üretilmesi adına işbirliğimizi kararlılıkla sürdüreceğimizi vurgulamak isterim.
감사합니다. teşekkür ederim.
Teşekkür ederim.
Sayın Hwan'a konuşmaları için teşekkür ederiz. Şimdi de sıradaki konuşmalarını yapmak üzere Samsung CNT CEO'su Sayın Jung Seung-chan'ı kürsüye davet ediyorum. Buyurun efendim.
Good afternoon, everyone. Please make yourself comfortable. On my script it says, but I have to make myself comfortable because of this noise. Before we start, I want to say thank you to our Turkish hosts and to the Korean embassy team for always by our side. Your support means the world to us. My name is Jae-ho So, and I lead finance and administration team for Samsung C&T in this region. Today, I didn't come here to give you a long, boring company speech, but I'm here to talk about how we can build a strong, reliable future together. When we talk about mega-scale infrastructure, technology and engineering first, to be sure. However, the reality is that technical engineering is only half the story. The other half, the true foundation, is financial resilience. Total assets $42.9 billion US dollars, sales $29 billion US dollars, operating profit $2.1 billion US dollars, and number of employees more than 9,000. These numbers make Samsung creates the value of the world beyond the history of Korea since 1938. As shown in our overall company direction, Samsung C&T has always focused on stability. We maintain top-tier global credit ratings, and in the world of complex long-term developments, that financial health is what guarantees execution. It means we don't just start projects, we finish them. No matter how challenging the economic landscape becomes, we bring risk-resilient structure that governments, clients, and partners can fundamentally trust. In Turkey and the Central Eastern European region, we are leveraging these financial strengths to drive two core tracks. First, we are actively accelerating the energy transition. focusing heavily on sustainable modern energy solutions that help nations build power independence. Second, we are delivering high-value infrastructure and healthcare complexes that directly improve the quality of life for local communities. We are not guessing how to do this. We have proven our capabilities on the ground right here. From highly efficient power plants to vital transportation networks, we have shown that we deliver on our promises, on time and on budget. If you look at our track record in Turkey, the proof is undeniable. We successfully built Kırıkkale power plant, establishing a benchmark for regional energy supply. We constructed Gaziantep Hospital, providing world-class high-tech medical center to the community. And our commitment doesn't stop in the past. We are currently bringing Nakash motorway project also. As you could see, my team is ready. Samsung C&T is fully committed. And we are truly excited to take this next step forward together with you. Teşekkür ederim. 감사합니다.
Sayın Chan'a konuşmaları için teşekkür ederiz. Şimdi sıradaki konuşmalarını yapmak üzere Korea Exim Bank, Keksim Türkiye Baş Temsilcisi Sayın Kim Hwan-woo'yu sahneye davet ediyorum. Buyurun efendim.
Merhaba. Distinguished policymakers of Turkey, esteemed representatives of financial institutions and leaders of Turkey world-class construction industry, and representatives from Korea Embassy, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure and an honor to speak with you today about the role of finance in expanding global infrastructure and about the tailored financial solutions that Korea Exim Bank can provide, as well as the potential for Turkey and Korea cooperation. Let me begin with a simple point. Yes, as we all know, infrastructure is a platform for national growth. Core infrastructure connects people, businesses, industries, and markets. Today, it is no longer just about construction. It has become a cornerstone of a national strategy by supporting economic growth, industrial transformation, supply chain stability, climate response, and regional connectivity. Now let me turn to Turkey. As you know very well, Turkey holds a very important position in this context. Turkey has long served as a strategic bridge between Europe and Asia, the Black Sea and Mediterranean, and the Middle East and Central Asia. Today, this unique geographical position presents strategic opportunities that enable the development of Turkey's infrastructure system. Turkey has already demonstrated its potential through the successful delivery of landmark projects. It has also built substantial expertise in PPP or BOT models by combining private capital, advanced technologies, and operational experience to advance national infrastructure priorities. Turkey's construction companies are also highly respected both domestically and internationally for their engineering strength and project execution capacities. So, the question is this: how can you make infrastructure projects more stable, more sustainable, and more bankable? Can this challenge be solved simply with more financing? In my view, the answer is very clear. It is not simply about providing more capital. The key is to design the right project structure. A project can be considered stable when risks are clearly allocated. It can be considered sustainable when it is financially, operationally, environmentally, and socially sound. And it can be considered bankable when financial institutions can clearly understand its cash flow, government support, and repayment structure. When all these elements are properly structured, we can say that the project has a solid foundation. As you know, today's infrastructure landscape is very different from the past. Projects are becoming larger and more capital intensive, with a greater exposure to a complex mix of construction, markets, FX, permitting, and operational risks. Even with advanced technology and capable contractors, a project may not proceed if the financing structure is weak. And if risk allocation is unclear, the projects can create long-term burdens for both public and private stakeholders. This is exactly where the role of Export Credit Agency, or ECA, such as Korea Exim Bank, becomes crucial. Before moving further, let me briefly introduce Korea Exim Bank. We are Korea's official export credit agency, fully owned by Korean government. Through lending, guarantees, co-financing, and project financing, we support Korea's international business and help structure global transactions. Let me outline our function through three key dimensions. First, we provide long-term capital. Large-scale infrastructure schemes often require financing with tenors of 10 years, 15 years, or even longer. Since commercial banks alone may find it difficult to provide stable long-term foreign currency funding, Korea Exim Bank's support can help strengthen project bankability. Second, we help mobilize the participation of various financial institutions. When the ECA participates in a project, the market can see that the project has gone through a certain level of assessment on technology, legal frameworks, environmental and social standards, and risk allocation. In practice, this can help create financial platform where commercial banks, local banks, MDBs can discuss pipeline projects and consider participating with great confidence and comfort. Third, we connect advanced Korean technology with long-term finance. As you know, Korea firms have built strong EPC expertise and technical capabilities, such as industries like plants, power generation, transport infrastructure, energy transition, and smart systems. We support Korea's strengths from the financial side so that Korean engineering construction capabilities can be applied to overseas infrastructure projects. I believe this support helps improve project feasibilities from the sponsor's perspective. In other words, we are not simply a provider of capital, but a financial solution partner that combines Korean industrial capabilities with long-term financing and thus finally enhance projects' feasibilities. Let me give you two cases from Turkey among the projects we already supported in Turkey. The Eurasia Tunnel and 1915 Çanakkale Bridge are strong examples where strong partnership between companies from Turkey and Korea, clear public-private role sharing, ECA-backed financing, and balanced risk allocation work together successfully. In the Çanakkale Bridge projects, we were also able to be one of the major financial partners, providing one of the largest financing commitments among individual institutions. The lesson from these two cases is clear. Major infrastructure schemes cannot be delivered by one company's capability or expertise alone. They have to consider strong partners, a clear contractual structure, a sound financing framework, reliable government supports, and balanced risk allocation for successful kickoff. I'm sure this is where Korea Exim Bank can play a meaningful role. And I believe Turkey-Korea cooperation shouldn't be limited to these two cases. Turkey and Korea are highly complementary partners. Turkey brings PPP experiences, local project development capabilities, and regional networks, while Korea delivers technology, systems, advanced engineering experience, and ECA-backed financing. When these strengths come together, the cooperation can move forward beyond simple construction and evolve into an integrated infrastructure partnership covering all phases of infrastructure life cycle. So what comes next for Turkey and Korea cooperation? First, as I just mentioned, we need to go beyond the simple EPC cooperation and pursue project development collaboration from the early stage. Looking ahead, the key question will no longer be who wins the construction contracts, but who can originate the project, structure the financing, and design a long-term operating model. Second, this partnership can also be expanded into third country markets. As you know, in regions such as Central Asia, the Caucasus, the Middle East, where Turkish contracts already have a very strong presence and regional networks, Korea's technology and financing capabilities can create strong competitiveness. Third, finance shouldn't be introduced only at the final stage of a project. It should be designed from the beginning. All the risks that a project carries along with their mitigation measures should be clearly defined from the early stage. Let me close with a simple analogy at the right side box. Infrastructure project is like a rough diamond. A rough diamond already has value, but its value is fully realized only after it is carefully cut, polished, and refined. I think infrastructure projects are similar. Even if a project has a strategic value and public importance, that alone is not sufficient. To become stable, sustainable, and bankable, a project requires clear cash flow, risk allocation, government support, environmental readiness, a long-term operational plan, and securing credible partners. We are happy to be part of that structuring process as a trusted long-term financial partner for Turkey's infrastructure developments. I believe when capital, technology, networks, and experience come together, Turkey and Korea can generate great opportunities and better outcomes in the near future. Thank you very much for listening.
Sayın Woo'ya teşekkür ediyoruz. Şimdi de konuşmalarını yapmak üzere Korea Business Association Yönetim Kurulu Başkanı Sayın Lee Dae-hyok'u sahneye davet ediyoruz.
Mike. Yes, yes. Hello. Merhaba, nice to meet you, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. It's very, very honorable to me to meet the chairman of the Turkish Contractors Association, and I am working as a general manager of the Arazi. My respected shareholders, Yapı Merkezi Chairman Basar Bey is joining this one. Unfortunately, I also work as a head of a Korea Business Association in Turkey, where 60 companies working in Istanbul and Kocaeli area, Izmit areas, including Ankara regions. So honestly with you, I want to share only one simple story. It's not about SK Eco Plant. It's not about Yapı Merkezi, I'm sorry. It's not just about tunnel. It's just about how Turkey and Korea has built together that neither could happen alone. As you know it, Istanbul is a bottleneck, is a traffic. As you know it, every drivers per years operate in congestions. They lost 118 hours. Unfortunately, is the city in the world #1 for traffic delay. So that is why I require the new crossings to cross the Bosphorus Strait. And both company sponsors, Yapı Merkezi and SK Eco Plant, so thought about this one, and then with the support from the Turkey government, we won this project, and then we started this one. But actually, the government always facing us a problem because infrastructure demand is very huge, but always outpaces the public budget. So it means definitely in worldwide statistics is to show that traditional procurement delay is SOC, social overhead capitals, by 5 to 10 years. Think about it, 10 years. For example, we built the Eurasia Tunnel with the cost, or total investment costs, around $1.2 billion. But think about 10 years later, recently, for example, 2023, 2024, you want to build this one is around, in my personal estimation, I'm a really purely construction guy. I spent 30 years experience in 20 different countries. Is around minimum $3 billion. Think about public demand is really this kind of a new crossing the Bosporus Strait is really could be contribute to the economy of the Turkey, especially in Istanbul area. It could save some travel times, trip times between the Asian side, European side. So PPP solution is private capital is delivers SOC today. It's not exactly risk transfer to the private sectors. Government pay only when service is delivered. But in turning to the contractors and or developer perspective, developers or contractors always suffering some short-term EPC revenue. The EPC just only end the completion stage. It's not secure the long-term cash flow in their business itself. So, PPP solutions, contractors or developer side, they are thinking it could be possibly secure the long-term 20 or 30 years cash flows, not single event. This is my experience based on 30 years in different countries. Fortunately, Yafumerikezi sponsors 50% shares in the SKCO plant, 50% shares, we work together. And then total investment cost is 1.245 billion. The total length of the projects, including the tunnels, is around 15 kilometers. From Bosporus, beautiful sea, the groundwater surface, from the water surface in around 160 meters is located in the deepest point of the tunnels. Tunnel capacity is around 120,000 vehicles per day. And we are operating, we have some entitlement to receive the 29 years concession fee of the government. We spent 5 years for the construction itself, and the remaining period we are operating this project. Fortunately, we gotta repay the loan from the government, the bank, international banks, up to 2030. It means that I could contribute more to some society in Turkey and especially Istanbul. Basically, the two companies contribute to equity value is around $285 million. The remaining amount is $960 million is coming from the international bank, including two ECA, K-shares, plus EIB and EBRD. So the others, commercial bank, Mitsui and Standard Chartered, or three, the local banks, Guarantee, Ish, and they are covered by the ECA banks. So especially the 80% is the foreign ratios in all the debt. And then you could look at that right-hand side. I believe the government MTZ commitment is just about we are now stand behind of the project. It means government MTZ commitment is really attract the international banks like K-Action, K-Sure, and the other European banks. So that is why the four major banks is given to the some 18 years financing and sub-commercial rate. Sub-commercial rate means is really cheaper than market value, market interest rate. It means with this secured MTZ, the four international banks could provide a very good financing scheme to everybody, the developers. So it means definitely they delivered $1.245 billion, but actually this is the price of attracting international capital. So think about return of this project is around 2.6 billion in previous 9 years experience. So it means every $1 is investment cost is bring about several dollars of the return to your country. So in the other country the same. So we have the experience in London, in the other Kazakhstan areas, almost the same. But Turkey is international banks is much preferred to work together with the Turkey government in this kind of PPP scheme. So it's my wishes to this kind of schemes get spread in the other STAN country and the African country. And then I believe that some Korean developers wanted to participate as partners with Turkish contractors. It's my wish for the future, because this year is I think is my retire time. But based on this my experience, maybe we could together build more and enter the other third country together. It's my wishes. Actually, everybody knows it. We are Eurasia tunnel is 2 deck tunnels. We completed the constructions ahead of 3 months. You look at that this one is the traffic performance is really is good. Minimum traffic guaranteed volume, traffic volumes already exceeded since Q4 2023. So you can see that the right-hand side and the bottom side is still very stable. So 107% of traffic volume is more than the MTG volumes. It means it's good. So we are trying our best to give more value to our traffic users. Yeah, I wanted to emphasize this slide. During the last 90 years, from 2016 and 17, using these tunnels, we saved 250 million hours is saved. We saved the fuels around 300,000 tons. And our CO2 emission is avoided. The volume is around 140,000 tons. And then safer vehicles is 687 million kilometers. So my conclusion is the MTZ is not gift to the contractors. It's not money to the contractors. It's just only secure the project to deliver safely and faster than expected. This MTZ is enabled some very secured $960 million from the international banks. So social returns is around, I already mentioned that 2.6 billion is returning to the society. So MTZ is no longer triggers. Traffic revenue is exceeded the guaranteed volumes and started the revenue sharings with the administration side. This slide shows up the key lessons learned from me for the government considering PPP. MTG is just a financing catalyst. It's not subsidy. Second one is a life cycle integration. Whenever I operate these tunnels, I'm thinking that what is the weakest point operation side? So maybe I think in the design stage, So about the operation side, the operation aspect, it should be much efficient, much safer in the operation period. So this kind of PPP is providing life cycle integrations. Is really field for operation. It's not just project completions. And then bilateral partnerships is amplify and enhance the capabilities. I believe no single country had all required competencies. But Yafameric cases provide us some really TBM experience and local experience, local communication with the stakeholders, including society and government. SK plant just to provide the international TBM experience and some attracting Korean side financial institution loan amount. So this kind of cooperation between two countries could play a role in the other countries like Ukraine, post-war areas, and I'm not sure, but in Syrian areas. To be frank with you, I believe the EPC contractor side, we cannot compete with Turkish contractors. We cannot compete with the Chinese contractors. It means we need to change, have to change the portfolio in construction industry. Otherwise, we cannot survive. So it means it's a desperate, cooperation way between two countries' contractors. The final point, ESG. Actually, we got many ESG-related some certificate from the international institutions. We got 15. One of them is Blue Dot Networks. Is a really first infrastructure project in Turkey and all over the world. So I'm really proud of this certificate because this is the only first PPP infrastructure project to get this certificate from OECD Blue Dot Networks. ESG areas, we are really continuously thinking to how to secure the ESG perspective, but actually only PPP project could contribute to the ESG aspect because only simple EPC contractors just only think how much we fast we complete the project, how much we get the profit. But our PPP, we need to some ESG areas because we need to spend a lot of times to operate the facilities. This is the final one, almost the same. Yeah, Eurasia Tunnel is not only the project, it's replicable models. Is there any foreign parties outside of Turkey? But I would like to inform the other country to look at this Eurasia Tunnel project to copy into their successful story in the other country. Thank you. Thank you so much. Teşekkür ederiz.
Konuşmalarını yapan tüm kıymetli konuşmacılarımıza teşekkür ederiz. Panelimizi burada sonlandıracağız ancak öncesinde sunumunu yapan bütün konuşmacılarımızı sahneye davet ediyoruz bir hatıra fotoğrafı için. Buyurun efendim. May I kindly invite all of our speakers and participants to join us here on the stage for souvenir photos.